Friday night. A little wonky. Any special requests tonight? Low back? Anybody else? All right. Let's begin lying on our stomachs tonight. So you're going to bring your head right up to the top of your mat, extend your legs back behind you. So you have a couple different options. You can just rest your cheek right on your yoga mat with your arms by your sides, or you can make a little pillow with your hands and rest your cheek on your hands. But just turn your head to the right or to the left, doesn't matter which, we'll switch it up halfway through. Bring your big toes together and let your heels just fall apart. Just allowing those hips to relax. Allow your eyes to softly close. And just begin to move the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Letting go of the day. Letting go of the week. Bringing yourself right here to this moment in time, to this practice, to your body. And just take a little mental scan of the body. Start at the top, slowly work your way down. How are you feeling tonight? What's going on? And then check in with your mental and emotional states as well. The more aware of how we're feeling, the more able we are going to be to provide ourselves with what we need from this practice tonight. So you're here for a bit of self-care. And that self-care can be on so many different levels. So start to check in emotionally a little deeper, maybe even spiritually. And think about what brought you onto your mat tonight. What brought you to yoga? And without opening the eyes, just simply pick your head up, turn it in the opposite direction, and now take your feet apart a little bit, turn your toes out, and just let your heels start to fall in a little bit. Just changing the positioning of those legs. Breathe a little deeper. Trying to fill up your entire lungs now every time you breathe in. And then every time you breathe out, be sure to empty your lungs completely. Squeeze all that stale air out. And as you place your forehead down onto your yoga mat, start to slide your ankles together and place your hands to either side of your chest, squeezing your legs together, stretching those toes back behind you. So the kneecaps are lifting gently off the ground. The tips of your fingers are all the way down behind the tops of your shoulders. Your elbows are hugging into the sides of the body. On an inhale, send the chin forward as you lift through the back of the head, and as you exhale, nice and slow, release back down. Inhale, peel up into cobra. Exhale, lower with control, and continue this movement, moving with your breath. And it's not the arms so much doing what's bringing you up. You're using the strength of your back muscles to draw yourself up and lower yourself down. The next few times you come up, see if you can let your hands come up when your chest comes up as well. And then as your chest, chin, nose, then forehead lower, the hands are back beside the chest. And then you inhale, peel up, hands lift at the same time, and exhale, lower. Now this time, push into your palms, keep them on the ground. Inhale, come up and hold. Try to keep those elbows in, shoulders down. And it's like you were gripping with your hands, trying to pull your heart towards Detroit. Take another inhale, come up just the tiniest bit higher, and then exhale, lower your chest, lower your forehead. Press up to your hands and your knees, nice and slow. And then let your hips start to fall back towards the heels as you bring your big toes together. Maybe your knees come apart. Just come back into child's pose for a moment. Let your chest come down, let your head come down. If your head doesn't make it to the ground, support it with your hands. And if your head does come down to the ground, the arms can relax out in front of you or all the way back alongside you. And just let your hips start to sway from side to side. And as you sway those hips back to center, start to extend and reach the arms forward. Crawl those hands as far forward as they'll go and then widen them to a shoulder distance width. Pull yourself slowly up to table. Bring your shoulders forward over your wrists. Bring your knees in to 2 fist distance wide between them. And then bring your ankles as wide as your knees are wide. Look down to the ground just ahead of the hands. Lift the low belly up towards the spine. And on an inhale, send your right leg straight back behind you and flex the foot. Try to keep your hips as level with one another as possible. Keep the weight firmly and evenly rooted into both your palms. Inhale, lift the heel and the chin, look up. As you exhale, squeeze your knee into your chest as you round your back. Try to draw the forehead in. Inhale and extend the legs slowly. Lift the chin and look up. Exhale, round it out, squeeze the knee in and extend as you inhale, lift the chin, look up. Squeeze that knee in, forehead to knee as you exhale. And again, send the leg back, look up, forehead to knee, round it out. Last one. Send the leg back, lift the chin, look up. Exhale, forehead to knee, squeeze, 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 and then release your knee to the ground. And just let your hips sway a little bit from side to side. And as your hips come to center, bring your big toes together. Push your hips back, but don't move your hands. Keep them firmly rooted in place as you relax your head. Taking the weight out of the hands and the wrists, pull yourself back up to table on an inhale. Adjusting those ankles as wide as the knees, push the earth away, and now send your left leg back with your next inhalation. Try to level out your hips here. Don't lean too much weight into your right hand and knee. Keep spreading those left toes, and as you inhale, lift the chin and the heel, look up, open the throat, exhale, squeeze the knee in as you round the back, and continue. Sending the leg back, lift the chin, look up. Use the whole exhale to bring that leg in. Try to keep the arms straight and strong and continue moving with your breath. Try to go as slowly as your breath will allow you to go. Good, you're going to take that last one. Inhale, lift the chin and the heel, look up. And as you exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And once you're done, the knee comes down. And just sway those hips again from side to side. And as you sway the hips to center, bring your big toes to touch. Push your hips back to your heels for a puppy stretch. So don't move your hands. Bow the chest and the head down. And now just let your elbows relax down, let your arms relax. And if your head isn't touching your mat, support it with your hands. If it is, see if you can circle the arms back alongside the legs and turn your palms to the sky. And just breathe. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Reaching those hands all the way back up to the top of the mat. Pull yourself up to your hands and your knees. Making sure your hands are right up at the top of your mat. You're going to slide the knees back an inch or two, curl your toes under, and press up and back to your first downward facing dog. And as you come into downward dog, just allow the heels to walk up and down slowly. Try to keep your head relaxed. Press each heel down one more time, and then try to press both heels down at the same time. Armpits press back towards the ankles. Hips lift high as the heels press down. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower your knees. Come down to table. Gripping with your hands, fingers spread wide. On an inhale, send your right leg back and your left arm forward for the spinal balance. And if it's too much to go to 3 limbs, know that your left hand can always stay on the earth. Pull that left shoulder back away from the left ear. Try not to let your left shoulder move further ahead than the right. Keep the hips level, shoulders level. Keep pressing down firmly through that right hand, lifting the shoulder up and away from the wrist, or if you've got both hands still down, lift both shoulders up and away. And take one more inhale, stretch it out even longer. Exhale, set the hand and the knee down. Inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone up. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin as you round your back. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. One more time, inhale, lift the chin, lift the tail, open the throat, look up. Exhale, round it out, and then as you inhale, you're in a neutral table position. Good, wait for your next in-breath. Take your left leg back and your right arm forward. Try to keep those wrist creases straight across, parallel with the top edge of your mat. As you reach that right arm forward, pull the shoulder gently back away from the ear. Try not to lift the chin. Point your face down so that your neck stays in line with your spine. Keep spreading the toes, spreading the fingers of that right hand. Take another inhale, stretch it out a little longer, really extend, and as you exhale, set the hand and the knee down. Look at the space between your thumbs. Make sure both your feet can easily fit there in between your 2 palms. If our hands are too close together, we're putting a lot of strain on those wrists. Good, inhale, lift the chin, lift the tailbone, hold here. Push your heart forward. Pull the shoulders down and away from the ears, and take one more inhale, stretch the crown towards the tail. Exhale, tuck the tail. Tuck the chin, press the center of your spine right up to the sky. Keep your shoulders forward just a bit. Push the earth away. Good, wait for the inhale. Come back to a neutral table. Slide the knees back an inch or 2. Curl your toes under. Press up and back to downward dog just for a moment. Inhale, rise high on the toes, bend the knees and look forward. Walk your feet to the space between your hands. Good, hands high on the shins. As you inhale, look out in front of you. Lean a bit of weight into your toes, lengthening the spine, and take one more inhale. Exhale, fold chest to thighs. Forehead draws in, relax the arms, relax the head. Clasp the hands behind the back, squeezing those shoulder blades together as you extend the arms as straight as you can. Pull the arms now away from the back. So trying to squeeze those hands into a tight fist, bringing the heels of the hands towards each other. Try to keep just as much weight in your toes as you have in your heels. Don't straighten the legs if all the weight falls back into the heels. Try to balance that weight there. Take another inhale, stretch the arms a little further. Exhale, release the arms down. Heel toe your feet together. So once your feet are touching, your big toes are touching, there's a little space between your heels, bend your knees. Squeeze your thighs together now, squeeze your knees together. Imagine you could sit down into a chair. Now, keeping your heels on the ground, keep your chest really low, and then inhale, just reach your arms straight forward. So we're at a half chair. Don't lift the chest up, keep it low. You can look between the hands, you can look straight down to the ground, pull those shoulders down. Good, as you inhale, come up to a proper chair. So just lift the torso, keep the legs bent, point the tailbone down. Lift the chin and look up. Keep squeezing your legs together, right from the knees, right up into those upper thighs. Good, as you inhale, straighten the legs, reach up, look forward, and lean to your right side. Try to keep that right shoulder rolled forward. Stretch through all 10 of your fingers. Good, inhale to center. Pull your shoulders down, hands are not touching, so don't let them come together quite yet. Lean to your left now. But try to let your upper arms hug gently in towards those ears. Left shoulder comes forward. So left shoulder forward, chest towards Detroit, inhale to center. Pull both shoulders down, find something to look at, inhale, lift the heels up. Squeeze those legs together like they were one strong leg. Try to balance the weight evenly across all 10 of those toes. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, lower those heels down. Inhale, lift the chin, look slightly up. And now push the hips forward. Just let your upper body lean back. Lift your heart towards the sky. Let those thumbs gently fall back behind you. Good. As you inhale, come up. As you exhale, turn your palms out, circle the arms down, hands to hips. Adjust your feet now to a hip distance width. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head, soft knees, lead with the heart, fold all the way down. Slide your hands down to grab the ankles, calves, or big toes. Now look forward as you inhale. Pull yourself down as you exhale, activating the upper body now, using the strength of the arms to pull yourself towards your thighs. Relax your head. Relax the head, just let it hang. So you should be looking either back behind you, maybe through those knees. Biceps are active here and engaged. Good, as you inhale, look out in front of you, and as you exhale, release whatever you're holding. Plant your palms flat on your yoga mat. Step back to the top of a push-up. And remember that you can do your push-up from your toes, or you can do it from your knees. Shoulders over the wrists. Press the space between your shoulder blades up towards the sky as you pull your low belly up towards the spine. So don't lift your hips higher than your shoulders. Make your body straight. Look out in front of you as you inhale. Lower with control. Shoulders and hips come down in tandem. Lift through the back of the head as you untuck the toes, cobra. So make sure your hands are beside your chest here. Elbows hug in. So hands are behind the shoulders. Good. Jay, take your hands a little wider for me. Good. Push into those hands, and now inhale just a little higher. Exhale, lower your forehead, curl your toes under. Slowly press up to plank from your toes or your knees. Whole body lifts at the same time, and now press back into downward dog. Pushing the chest back, pressing the heels down. Good. Step your right foot in between your hands and walk your hands around to the left. So we're going to turn to the west, facing the long end of our mat. Heel toe your feet till there's about one leg's length in between your heels, and pigeon toe your feet slightly. So what we mean by pigeon toeing, the big toes are in closer than the inner heels. Now lean your hips forward a little bit so they're in line with your ankles. Come up to your fingerprints, lengthen the spine as you inhale, look forward. As you exhale, start by planting the palms and start to walk those hands back. Try to keep the heels of your hands flat on the ground. Look at your thumbs. Can your feet fit in between them? If they can't, your hands are too close together. Widen them slightly. So slide those hands back as far as they'll go. And now use the strength of those arms. Pull yourself through those legs. Try not to let the heels of the hands lift up. Pull those shoulders up and back away from those ears. Imagine the flexibility that you would need, that you could pull yourself right through those thighs. Folding in half right from those hips. Relax your head. Good. As you inhale, walk those hands forward, come up to your fingerprints. Walk your hands around to the right without moving your left foot. Turn your right toes out. Line up your right heel with your left arch. So don't move your left foot, keep it where it was. Nice long stance. Bend deeply into your right knee so your right knee is over your right ankle. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh and your left hand to your left hip. Roll that right palm to face the sky above you. Don't lift the left arm yet. Roll the left shoulder back. And then look over that left shoulder. Reach your left arm towards Riverside Drive, straight back behind you, and turn your palm to face the sky. Start to sweep that left arm now up and start to take it over that left ear. Try not to lift the left shoulder up towards the ear as you do this. Rotate that left pinky finger down towards the earth right now. Keep that right knee bent deep over that right ankle. Press evenly and firmly into both of your feet. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, look down to the ground. Release your left hand down and bring your right hand to the inside edge of your right foot as well. Walk your hands around to the left. Turn your right toes in. Keep walking the hands around. Turn your left toes out. Line up your left heel with your right arch. Left forearm to left thigh, right hand to right hip. Try to make sure your left toes are pointing straight out to the back of your mat. Straighten your right leg. Roll the right shoulder back. Look over that right shoulder. Reach your right arm towards Detroit. So straight back behind you, turn your palm up to the sky. Start to reach that right arm up and start to take it over the ear. Keep that left palm facing up like you were holding a small plate in the left hand. Keep that right leg as straight as possible. Let your hips melt down. Let your right pinky finger rotate down, but spiral your chest open to the right at the same time. On the inhale, right arm reaches high. Exhale, look down. Release your right hand and your left hand to the inside edge of your left foot and walk your hands around halfway. Turn your left toes in. Rise to the fingerprints, gaze out in front of you, really pigeon toe those feet. And now see if you can grab your big toes. If you can't grab your big toes, grab your ankles or even your calves. If you're holding your big toes, pointer and middle finger have made a J-shaped hook around those big toes with your palms facing each other. Inhale, look forward and lengthen. Exhale, start to pull yourself down, elbows bend, relax your head. Try to pull yourself through the legs. Relax your head. Imagine that you could fold right in half and your head would touch the ground right in between your 2 feet. So if your head touches early, shorten the distance between your feet, even by just an inch. Try to go a little deeper. Good. As you inhale, come up to a flat back. Release whatever bind you had. Walk your hands around to the right. Turn your right toes out. Plant both palms. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Pick your right foot up. Step back. Press back to downward dog. And if downward dog does not provide a pose that is restful, come down to child's pose and breathe deeply. So we take rest when we're given rest. We work diligently when we're in our posture. Keep breathing deeply. So once we've taken our period of rest, if you've come down to child's pose, come back to down dog. We inhale onto the toes, bend the knees and look forward. Exhale, feet to the hands. Inhale to a flat back, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Bring your big toes to touch, little space between the heels, preparing for Utkatasana. Bend the knees deeply, squeeze knees and thighs together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Point that tailbone ever so slightly down. Pull your shoulders down away from the ears. Rotate your pinky fingers in just slightly. And now find a gazing point either straight ahead or straight ahead and slightly down. Let's lift those heels up slightly. Keep squeezing those legs together. Maybe you can bend your knees just a tiny bit deeper. Take another full breath in, and as you exhale, lower your heels back down. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach up, tip slightly back, and then swan dive all the way down. Flat back on the inhale, long spine. Plant your hands, step back to plank as you exhale. Lower your right knee under your right hip. Bring your right hand in a bit so it lines up with that knee, and as you come to your left fingerprints, pivot and plant your left foot. Slide that left foot back so that your right toes are pointing to your left arch. So we haven't let the left hand leave the ground yet. If we're feeling it all wobbly, your right foot can slide back like a little kickstand. Look at your right thumb, left hand to left hip. Now roll that left shoulder back. Maybe that left arm can float up towards the sky. So you might keep your eyes on your thumb, you might look out to the left, you might look all the way up towards that left thumb. As you turn your left palm forward, start to reach that arm over the ear. So we're gonna have a few different options here. You can stay right here. Spiraling your chest up to the sky. You can bring more weight into your right hand, you can lift the left leg. You can get more of a quad stretch as well and a bit of a back bend by bending the knee, grabbing the top of the foot or the front of the ankle, and pulling that foot up and back behind you. Remembering these are all just options and possibilities, not necessities. Keep pressing firmly down through that right hand and keep spiraling your chest open to the left. If you took the bind, release the leg and the arm back out. If you lifted the foot, release it back down. Let's inhale, left arm, reach it up to the sky. And now look down, lower your hand down. Widen your palms, lower your knee down. Bring your big toes to touch, hips to the heels. Take your knees to the edges of your yoga mat, and then relax in a wide-kneed child's pose. See if your forehead can touch the ground here. Relax the arms. Relax the hips. Relax that right wrist that was just doing a whole bunch of work. Relax that right hand, the fingers. Mentally preparing yourself for that sidearm balance, but on the left side. So let's reach those hands out. Come back up to the hands and the knees. So now we want to make sure that the left knee is underneath the left hip. Bring the left hand in so it lines up with that knee as well. Come onto your right fingerprint, straighten your right leg, plant your right foot behind your left foot, and glue, suction cup the sole of that foot down. If you need the kickstand, let your left foot just swing back behind you a bit. Look at your left thumb, right hand to right hip. Roll that right shoulder back, turn your chest open to the east, and then reach that right arm up to the sky. So you can look at your left thumb, you can look out to the right, you can look up to that right thumb. Turn your palm forward, start to take the arm over the ear, but don't lift the shoulder. Keep spiraling your chest open to the right. If you did so on the other side, maybe you're leaning into the left hand, right leg floats up. Maybe you're bending the knee, catching a hold of the top of the foot or the front of the ankle. Remember, you just need to work to your edge. What is that edge today? Try to keep that right arm as straight as possible. Beautiful. If you took the bind, release the foot slowly, arm and leg extend back out. If the foot is up, we slowly lower it down and suction cup it to the ground. Inhale the right arm to the sky, look down, lower your hand down. As you lower your knee down, widen your palms. This time thighs together, big toes together, sit back on the heels. So knees together and take down to child's pose. And then just observe the difference that you feel when your legs are together rather than having your legs really wide. So your knees are touching, your thighs are touching. Maybe your head doesn't come down as far. Maybe you're supporting it now. Don't let your head just hang there. Place your hands or your fists underneath your forehead to support that head. And just breathe. Good. Bring your hands to rest on either side of your head. Push into those palms now, slowly coming up. Good. Bring your hands back to the top of the mat. Tuck the toes. Take it up and back to downward dog. Stretch it out. Draw those shoulders up and back, away from the ears. Good. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, set your knees down on the ground. Slide your hands back now so they're just in front of the knees, and keep that shoulder distance width between those two palms. And now take your head onto the ground, bringing it forward away from the hands, about as far forward as the hands are wide widthwise. So all 3 points are the same distance apart. Does everybody know what an equilateral triangle is? All 3 points the same distance. Take your head to the top point of the triangle. So Jade, do you want your hands back more so your elbows are over your wrists? More, more, more. Bring your elbows in now. So squeeze the elbows in a little bit towards each other. Good. So Rose, you want your hands back further and your head further forward. Make sure they're not in a line. Try to make a triangle. And you want to be on the top of your head, not on your forehead. And this might be plenty for some of you. You're just hanging out here. So Nicole, widen your hands a little bit. Good. If you want to take it further, the option is there to tuck the toes, straighten the legs, and walk the feet towards the face. You should have no pain in your neck. So Rose, you actually want to be on the top of your head. You don't have to go any further, but you just want to let your head be on the ground and your hands be there, back behind the head. So your hands need to come back way further. Yeah. So Jayashri, bring your hands forward a little bit because your hands are a little bit behind your elbows. Bring your hands up a little. Yeah, and now try it for me. So Janice, remember to keep those elbows in. I would bring your hands forward a little bit, Janice, and then let your elbows come in a little bit more. Yeah. And then straighten the legs and try to get the hips high. Let those knees now come out towards those elbows and see if they can rest onto the tops of those arms. You got it. So if you took your knees onto your elbows and your toes left the floor, maybe it's time for you to take a little break. Maybe you want to stay where you're at. If you're taking a little break, let your toes touch down, let your knees come down, take it back into child's pose. You got it, Kathleen. So really push into your hands. See if you can pull your shoulders away from the ears. Let your arms do more of the work. So when your feet come up and your heels come towards your buttocks, your arms are doing more work than your head. That's good. And then we'll all take it down and take a little rest from that period where we had the head low. And once you've taken at least 5 breaths in your child's pose, so those of you that just came out of headstand, make sure you take 5 breaths in child's pose. We can come up into Vajrasana once we're done. So that point where we're sitting on our heels, just letting that blood slowly drain down away from the head, the neck, the face. If you can't sit in Vajrasana, just take another comfortable seated position because we're going to do a few neck stretches here. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder. And just let gravity pull it down. Good. As you inhale, let the head float up and then left ear towards left shoulder. Inhale, let the head come up. Turn your head now as far to the right as you can. Inhale, center, and all the way to the left. Good. Inhale, let the head come back. As you exhale, just start to lift the chin. Turning that face up towards the sky. We want to try to maintain a relaxed jaw. So if that means you have to separate the teeth and the lips, do so. Make sure you're still breathing through your nose. Good. Inhale, lift the head up, and then melt your chin slowly down toward your chest. And now we're going to interlace the fingers, and without pulling on your head, just rest your hands on the back of the head. Let your arms relax a little bit at a time so the chin is still towards the chest. Try not to pull, don't force, just breathe. Keep the hands there, inhale, lift the head back up. And then just let your head gently fall back into your hands. Feel the stretch through the armpits and across the chest. Inhale through center. Extend the arms up to the sky. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears. Turn your palms out to the sides and release the arms halfway down. Stretching in opposite directions here. Turn your palms to face forward. Let your arms slowly come forward. Interlace your fingers. Press the palms out in front of you. Keep drawing those shoulder blades onto the back, and then inhale, start to lift the arms, but don't let the shoulders lift towards the ears. Stop before that happens. Take another inhale, really press those palms away. As you exhale, let the arms just slowly release down. Roll to one hip, let your legs come around. Bring the soles of your feet together, draw the heels in as close to you as you can get them. But don't round your back just to get your heels in closer. You can hold your shins, your ankles, you can hold your feet. You can imagine your feet were like a book you were opening up. Shoulders forward, over the hips, ears back over the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, send the crown towards the sky, and then send your heart towards the top of your yoga mat. So don't round your back. Don't try to get your chin or your nose to your toes. Try to let your heart come past your feet. And when you can't get that chest any further, start to relax the head all the way down. And just let that head hang now, heavy. Try to press the knees gently down as you take the heart forward. Try not to let your elbows come too far forward in front of you. Keep those elbows back, more alongside the rib cage. Shoulders down, away from the ears, and just breathe here. Good. On your next inhale, as you start to lift through the back of the head, come all the way up, hands to the outsides of the knees, bring the knees together. Take a light grip on the backs of those thighs, lift those legs up, squeeze those legs together. So a very light hold with the hands. Do you need them? If you don't need them, extend the arms out. Lift the chest, squeeze those shoulder blades onto the back. Breathe deeply. Good. Take another inhale, lift the toes a little higher. Exhale, plant your feet hip distance apart. Take your hands about a foot or so behind you, shoulder distance apart. So either pointing your fingers straight forward or straight back, what feels best for you. On the inhale, lift the hips up. Knees come over ankles. Your shoulders should be over your wrists. Push your belly up to the sky. Can you look up to the sky? If it hurts the neck, bring the chin back in. If you can relax the head all the way back, go ahead, breathe. Take another inhale, lift the hips a little higher, look forward, and slowly lower the buttocks. Lower down to your elbows with your feet up at the top of your mat. Draw your knees into your chest, and just rock from side to side. So you're rolling from hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, ear to ear. Good. As you roll back to center, go ahead and place your feet back down on the ground. Draw the heels as close to the buttocks as you can and open them to a hip distance stance. Arms like railings, right down at the sides, palms pressing flat. Press your low back now flat to the earth. So bring your feet to the ground right in front of the buttocks at a hip distance stance. And without turning your head, inhale, lift your hips up into bridge. Try to keep your arms straight. Don't bend the elbows. Some of you might be able to walk the hands in a little closer. Some of you might be able to clasp the hands. Maybe you can even climb right onto those triceps and shoulders. Work to your edge. Squeeze those knees in just a little bit. Keep them right over top of those ankles. Good. Take another inhale, rise high on the toes, send the arms to a T, and then roll the back down slowly. Let your heels come down. Draw your knees into your chest now. Reach for the knees with the hands and just rock from side to side. Good. As you roll back to center, set your feet down on the ground. So set your feet down on the ground. Set your feet down on the ground. Just your feet, don't unbend the legs. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Send your right knee forward as you flex your right foot and spread your toes. So the left leg is still bent, right knee over left ankle, or right ankle over left knee. Draw your left knee into your chest now. So keep flexing both of your feet. Slide your right arm through the leg. See if you can grab your left leg with both your hands. So relax your head back down on the ground if you lifted it up. Keep sending your right knee forward. Keep pulling your left leg in. Flex both feet. Keep them flexed. Relax the shoulders down. If you want to feel this a bit more intensely in that right hip and buttock, lean just an inch or two to the left. So you've come onto that ridge of muscle just along the left side of the spine, and maybe you can pull that left leg in just a tiny bit more. Beautiful. Take another deep breath in. If you've leaned, come back to center. Release that grip with the hands. Set your left foot down on the ground. Bring your arms down beside you. Send your right leg straight up to the sky. Point your right toes. Flex your right foot. Palms are on the ground. Point your right toes. Flex your foot. Bring your arms to the ground. Point your right toes. Flex your foot and hold it. Press the back of that right knee open. Take another deep breath in. Hips are on the ground. Exhale, lower your right leg to 1 inch off the ground. Keep it straight. Inhale that right leg all the way up. Exhale, lower to 1 inch. Inhale to lift slowly. Exhale to 1 inch off the ground. Inhale, bring that leg up. Now this time, just lower halfway down and pause. Inhale, lengthen. Come down halfway again, pause. Lengthen as you inhale, and then lower your right leg down to the ground. Give that right leg a gentle shake. Keep your right leg straight. Pick up your left foot and just place it on top of your right thigh. Bring your left arm out to a T. And reach your right hand for your left knee. So don't set your left foot on the ground, it should be on top of your right leg. So bring your left foot onto the top of your leg, not onto the ground. So Jade, let your foot rest on top of your leg rather than beside your leg on the ground. Turn your head to the left. Take a deep breath in. Release your left knee slowly over to the right as you look down that left arm. Try to keep your right leg straight. Try to keep your left shoulder on the ground. So Jade, come back to center for a second. Bring your knee up to center for a second. See if you can bring that left shoulder right down. Keep your right leg straight. So hold on a second before you go. Come back to center. Straighten your right leg. Set the left foot on top of the leg. Yeah, and now let that leg come over. And your right hand can add a little weight on the outside of that knee if you want. Yeah, and then let your head turn the opposite way. Good. So don't go past your edge. Just try to find that place of comfortable discomfort where that left shoulder stays rooted and the hips are turning to the right. Good. Take another really long, deep breath in. Exhale, let all that air go. And now inhale, slowly return to center. Pull your left knee into your chest. Draw your forehead up towards your knee. Lift that right leg an inch off the ground. Push your knee into your hands. Inhale, lift up, 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 and then release your back. Lower your right leg. Lower your head and your left foot down. Bend your right knee, place it beside your left. Place your right foot beside your left foot, pardon me. Pick up your left ankle, cross it over your right knee. Flex your left foot, press the knee away. When you're ready, draw your right knee into your chest. This time the left arm comes between the legs, grabbing the back of the right thigh or the front of the shin. Just pulling that leg in, flex both of your feet. Keep pushing that left knee forward as you pull that right leg in. Just work to your edge. Shoulders stay relaxed and down, away from the ears. Maybe you want to lean just slightly to the right, finding that ridge of muscle along the right side of the spine. You might feel this a little more intensely through that left hip and buttock. Good. Take another deep breath in. If you've leaned right, exhale to center. Take another deep breath in. Squeeze that right leg just a little more tightly. And now release your hands and set your right foot down on the ground. Bring your arms down beside you. Send the sole of your left foot up towards the sky. Point your left toes. Flex your foot. Point your toes. Flex your foot. One more time. Point and flex. Keep that foot flexed. Right foot is on the ground, left leg extending tall. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower your left leg to 1 inch off the ground, and then just as slow, inhale, bring it up. Exhale and lower, hovering an inch. Inhale to lift all the way up. Exhale, lower to 1 inch. Inhale, lift it up. This time, exhale halfway down and pause. Inhale, extend through the heel, come down halfway again. One more inhale, extend and reach, and then release that heel. Give that left leg a gentle shake. Now, left leg is on the ground, left leg is relaxed. Keep it straight. Pick up your right foot, place it on top of your left thigh or left knee. Take your right arm out to a T. Left hand reaches for that right knee. Turn your head all the way to the right as you inhale. And now release your knee towards the left side as you exhale. Try not to lift your right shoulder. Try to keep your entire upper back in contact with your yoga mat. Just a few more breaths here. Try to keep that extended left leg as straight as you can. Try to breathe as deeply as you can. Good. And your next inhale, let your head and your knees slowly return to center. Squeeze your right knee into your chest. Inhale, draw your chin or your forehead up towards that knee as you flex both feet. Lift your left leg an inch. Take another inhale so you can pull yourself up, up, up. As you exhale, lower that right leg, lower your back and your head down. Bring your left leg in to join your right leg. Squeeze both knees into the chest. Draw the chin or the forehead up towards the knees. Start to squeeze yourself into a tight little ball. Scrunching up the face, the scalp, shoulders, arms, legs. Take another inhale, squeeze everything one last time, and then release the effort as you lower your head down. Release your feet down. Send your heels down to the corners of your yoga mat and let your feet relax, falling out to the sides. Take the arms on the same diagonal line as the legs. Turn your palms to the sky as you tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Let your whole body become heavy. Let your whole body just start to relax. Take rest. Release. Allow your breath to deepen and lengthen once again. And as you breathe deeply in and out through your nose, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Moving hands and feet, wrists and ankles. Let your head turn very slowly from side to side. And as your head rolls to center and your legs slide together, stretch your arms back over your head and take a long inhale. Stretch the body out. And then relax the arms down to your sides. Draw your knees into your chest. And just rock from side to side. Roll all the way over onto your right side. Press into your left hand, and with your eyes still closed, make your way to seated. Stacking ears over shoulders and shoulders over hips. Bring your hands to your heart. Thank yourself for this gift of yoga here at the end of your day, the end of your week, perhaps. Send a silent thank you out to those who came to join you, for sharing their energy with you tonight. And I thank you for allowing me to share these teachings of yoga with you. We end our class tonight with the chanting of Om one time. If you would like to join us, please do. Take an inhale. Feel the energies surrounding you and within you. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. Namaste. So happy Friday. If you have any questions, let me know, please. Thank you for being here and enjoy your weekend. So stage 3, next Friday. So that just means, I think for now, that on our rain out days, we at least have somewhere we can take our practice, which will be inside. We're gonna try to keep it outside for most of the summer to make it accessible for everybody. So, but know that if it's raining, we can venture inside. We're just limited to 14 students, and it is limited to our members for the inside classes. So